Man, Birds of a Feather podcast. Boy, Q City back again with another Hawks recap. This one is a sad one. It's a loss to the Pistons, right? Hawks back to playing 500 ball. Missed. I think I missed two games. Either way, we went on a little winning streak. Lost to the Knicks prior to this game. Yeah, because we had the snowstorm game. Had a game after it. West Coast team, Lakers. Clippers, somebody. Either way, we're at 22-22. Um, man, the Pistons took it to us tonight. They, if I'm not mistaken, only scored 113. We can delve into the stats a little bit here because one, I do like telling the complete picture with stats, right? But like also watching the game and understanding where you're coming from. So yeah, they didn't even score um 120. They were at 114, right? So, 218 on the over under. I think my over under was 235. I expected it to be like a 120, 122 type of game. The Pistons held up their end for the most part. The 3-point percentage was abysmal tonight. Um, you can play the stats for tonight, but to be honest with you, this game really boiled down to the fact that we could not hit an outside shot, right? Overall, yeah. So 39 or 103. That's good. Put up 103 shots, bro. Had 100 and what? If you put up 103 shots, you had to have 100 and how many turnovers did we have? 13. Yeah, I'm about to say probably 120 possessions. 116 had 116 possessions, bro. You know what I'm saying? You turned the ball over 13 times. Here the crazy part. The Pistons turned the ball over 20 times. You had them by 8 in the paint. They had 5 more fouls than you, and you doubled them up on steals. They had 7, you had 14. Now, there was really good paint protection. Stewart was doing the damn thing. Durant not much of a shot blocker, which is kind of crazy considering how athletic he was. Stewart just got like that mentality. I'm pretty sure he had a shot or two, you know what I'm saying? But Stewart was really who I was thinking was kind of like that enforcer, that rim enforcer. Their lineup was nothing special tonight, and I'm not even being a hater because they won. It was truly just nothing special. It was literally the fact they went 42 for 84, 50% from the field, right? They went 12 or 34 from the three, 35%. That's not that's not crazy. That's not above the like oh damn, they won by 10 and they beat the block out of us. And they went 18 from 19 from 18 points from the line. We had 20 points from the line, 20 or 26. The difference in this game was the fact we went 39 for 103 from the field, right? So 38%. And then we went 6 from 38 on threes. 15.8, 16% on threes. In today's NBA, you're not going to win a game like that. And I think the part for me that was like kind of frustrating is the fact that like Dyson brings so much to you defensively that next to trade you can't not play him, right? Like it doesn't make sense to have that type of asset and not have him on the floor. But like, yo, it's a prayer every time he shoots up a three. You know what I'm saying? Just honestly, it's a prayer every time he shoots up a three. And I think he took like 8 of them tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Whew. But that's crazy. You look at the bottom of our roster, we got so many people not playing. But Dyson, he had 20 points. A lot of it was, I ain't gonna cap to you. A lot of it was just like cleanup stuff around the rim. He had a really nice leg. Jalen had 17 points, 9 rebounds. It's tough. Trey 13, 9, and 2. Like nobody was hitting tonight, bro. Um, Now, one of the things I did like, starting with the New York game, Big O has been starting. I'm curious to see how that flows with uh Zach in there instead of Veet, right? Like Zach's hurt right now. Says he's gonna be out for another week. Um, oh, excuse me. Says Zach gonna be out for at least another week. I'm curious to see how him, Big O, play on each other. You're kind of small. Jalen, he's not he's not super defensive minded, but he's a big body and he can shot block. He can test, right? So like moving Capella to the bench, I think is kind of one of those hallmark moments of like, hey, this team is going to shift and change differently. The guy that's killing us, I hate it. I hate it because he is so important. 2 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Bro, Bogey slump is historic right now, bro. He went almost a year in terms of games of like hitting a three. Boy, that man can't buy a shot right now. And it's tough. And you can see him just trying to shoot his way through it. But like, bro, he is killing us right now. And I mean, there's nothing you could do outside of shooting his way out of it. You're not going to replace him with Garrison Matthews in the lineup, right? Like him and Trey on the court is super helpful. Honestly, when Trey goes to rest, and for some reason with the lineup you like has Dyson, Bogey, Dre, and I think Zach would be on the floor at that point in time, and then Big O at the five. And so instead of Zach, it's been beat right now. But like no true point guard, Dyson bringing the ball up a lot of time and the ball just like flowing type thing. Like you need Bogey to be knocking down shots during that lineup, so you don't want to necessarily like continue like really lose him or lose faith in it. But I'm not gonna lie, that lineup with Garrison Matthews, it wasn't my favorite lineup, but it was somewhat like it was at least passable. With Bogey losing a shot the way he has, it's not even like those minutes are like dead minutes, right? Like it's tough. I want to be able to I want to be able to say we're going to come out to the other side of this, and we will. But this team is a prime candidate for making moves at the deadline. So we went, what is it? We went 9 deep today. Uh, Larry, when he comes back, Zach, when he comes back, that's 11 deep. But honestly, the person you're just gonna kick out is gonna be Garrison. Will be kicked out, and like Garrison and Bogey really fight for that 10 spot. I maybe Veet, but I feel like Veet has played himself into like a solid rotational player. When you go 8 deep, right? So like you got Trey Dyson, um, Zach, Zach Jalen, Clint, well, Big O now. Clint will come off the bench. You'll take uh, Dre off the bench. That's 7. When playoffs come, usually go 8, maybe 9. Bogey will be that 8, and then I take Beat before Garrison, to be honest with you. So Garrison might fall back. Um, Roddy didn't get no burn tonight. Keaton Wallace ain't get no burn tonight. Uh, Daquan, he's been out. Cody Zeller is just. I understand he's got stuff going on, so like I'm not saying him as a person. It's just kind of like a waste of a roster spot. You know what I'm saying? But we are a prime candidate to move Clint. Are we gonna move someone up in the rotation then? Like is Larry just gonna be your backup? And that both guys athletic, but like that's a really small back line. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really small back line. Especially when in the East you're going up against the Evan Mobley and the Fro in Cleveland. You're going against, you know, Embiid. You're going whenever he can actually play. You're going against Bam isn't super big, but you see what I'm saying? It's a very small back line, but that may be the best way to construct your team. When I look at Trey, he needs defenders behind him. He needs defenders beside him, but he also needs people who can like catch lobs, who can knock down shots, are very active because he's a super willing and creative passer, and like that's where we're at with it. Like last year, we played 500 ball, right, and barely missed the playoffs. This year, I misspoke. We're 22-21, but like it's pretty much the same. It's 500 ball right now. Um, I don't love the fourth quarter rotations. This has struck me in a couple games now. The way he does not stagger Trey and Jalen's minutes, you would think that one, their station as superstars is absolutely set, and like they're just going to come in and rock and like rowdy together. But like without staggering them over the course of, and Jalen has shown the ability to capably run the offense for minute stretches while Trey's out. Trey has shown a willingness to come off the ball while he's playing with them. So like the offense can survive, but like hey, we don't have a true backup point, which I think is if they were to get rid of Bogey, that's what it would be for. I don't feel like Clint fetches you a backup point guard. Maybe discuss that a bit more in the Hawks pod when we talk about like trade deadlines or anything that's coming up. But tonight's game was just it really boiled down to just couldn't buy a shot. Couldn't buy a shot. And this is the last thing. I'm going to get out of here. But because, I try to keep these at like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. The last thing, you canceled the Rockets game, but you didn't cancel tonight's. And like, there were people stranded. There's people who couldn't, uh, who tickets like last minute couldn't get in, couldn't get out, all this and that, right? And it's like, bro, these, that wasn't even like a home game for real. You know what I'm saying? We've been off the road for so long, and it's like that's not even a home game. You didn't even have people in there in the building like that. Whole bottom section empty. So like it, I almost feel like you could have canceled tonight's game. I enjoy watching them. I want my team to play, but like that one just kind of sucks. Either way, we'll be back at it again. Let's check the schedule. Check the schedule. We'll be back at it again tomorrow night, back to back. So Raptors tomorrow night. I'll be right back in. No, y'all miss me. If you're listening to this on the podcast, so what I tend to do is like I'll package a couple of the week's games together and then drop that on the pod. I'll drop them individually, but then I'll package the week's reactions together and drop them on the pod. If you're listening to this on the pod, subscribe to the YouTube channel BOAF Media, Birds of a Feather Media, just abbreviated. So BOAF Media on YouTube, well, on all social platforms, but on YouTube, you subscribe, you get the notification for the lives, and you can hop in, hear me talk right after the game. It's been your boy Q City. I'm out. Peace.